The first thing I'm gonna say is, when people tell you that this has been a problem since 2015, they are capping. Since the 1950s, Baltimore City has been impacted by drugs, and the city and everybody else who knew that this was a problem has owed Baltimore an apology since the 1950s. So by the 1970s, America started using police and military to crack down on drugs and drug dealers for cocaine, weed, and also crack. So we talk about the war on drugs, we talk about the crack epidemic. This is where it started. So the 1970s and 1980s here in Baltimore, we had everybody and their mama getting locked up for marijuana, crack, and also for cocaine. In the 1990s, however, pharmaceutical companies, y'all heard of Bayer, the aspirin people? Okay, that company in the 1990s and other companies like it developed new drugs that were supposed to be for pain management. The problem was they did not have enough research to say if this was going to be bad or people could get addicted. And so by the end of the 90s, we actually saw so many people addicted to opioids and other medications like that in the 2000s, they had to start limiting how many people could get prescriptions. And like to 2010s, we saw the price of heroin in Baltimore City drop drastically. Why? Well, I just said that people could no longer get their prescription drugs if they were in the hospital. So what did people do instead of getting their drugs from the hospital? They got them off the street, exactly. And so with the supply and demand, the price of heroin decreased in Baltimore, so we saw more heroin users. And now, in Baltimore, 90% of all the substances that you find on the street are actually fentanyl. And also, a new substance called xylazine, which is actually not an opioid, it's an animal tranquilizer that can kill you. If you are exposed to some of these substances, you can be knocked out for several hours in random places and have no recollection of what happened to you. You think you buying a perk off the street, perk 10, I just popped a perk. No, absolutely not. I just popped a perk 30, like, no, you did not. So we went ahead this conversation with y'all because really the drugs are not safe.
Here we go. Baltimore is like a set of fraternal twins, conceived as one, but birthed into two, separated by a difference in characteristics. Don't believe me? Well, check the census, cause half these neighborhoods been black and poor since Nixon was president, and it's crazy. In '68, they put a bullet through a king's dream, and in the streets were riots. 2015, a gray man was made a memory, and again, riots, because America is still on a predominantly dark meat diet in this city. There are multi-climate conditions. Concrete jungles, food deserts, fire hydrants are misting while resources run low. But behold, in oases of plush green trees and rolling parks exist in the land of condos. Just look at the windows if you want to see pain. The rich, no curtains, cause they would never cover. The poor use brown plywood as a cover, and you can hear the cricket-filled silence or police sirens bouncing off the walls of project housing. Mansions in Guilford, but vacants in Gilmore. Manicured lawns or weeds growing between the cracks of callous sidewalks when it's 2 a.m. On one side of town, there is a white woman jogging, a taut leash around the neck of her miniature schnauzer, Sophie. But on the other side of town, there are blue lights, cop lights, floodlights, cell phone lights in the hand of a young brother on the corner trapping, while the low light of hope is ever dimming. And John Hopkins Medical Campus is forever sprouting, touting, revitalization, smiling through crest white teeth, while the aching teeth of the poor can feel the rot of gentrification in their dilapidated communities decaying like cavities. But coffee cafes foreshadow a root canal for pennies. They'll uproot a mother, father, and child, then put colorful paint over a graveyard view. Just ask Greenmount what a station north will do. Lead particles in the H2O or outdoor water fountains always afloat. Bike lanes or crater moon-sized potholes. Fiends penguin wobble to a street side lean or prescription addicts with paychecks that keep habits fully functioning. There are some communities with flower shops. There are some communities with flower shops, But others have teddy bear memorials commemorating homies that got popped. Tennis shoes on light poles to uplift fallen souls. You still can't see the distinction between two twins cocooned in the womb of the belly of the beast. It's easy as counting 1, 2, 3. Just count the corner stores, liquor stores, and churches versus dog parks, guarded fences, and organic markets. The tale of two Baltimores is not a secret. There are just some who are too privileged to ever see it.
When the coroner calls, he say cause of death be combined effects of heroin and fentanyl. Form, fetal, feeble at the feet of God, he is made a morgue, all merciful, a ghetto gospel of grievance, a fetus of the forgotten people. His name became body, corpse, carcass, casket, past tense once was, 1 in 4, 50% of black men, 10, 1 in 6 dissolved to digits, disappeared, dead. When the coroner calls my father dead, I am made no one's daughter. I am born a bag of bones, gnawed and gutted to the gristle. My throat is a grave ground for sound. I am an asylum of silence. I got tombs for teeth. Be chewing out my chest, breast be a black hole, soul slipping in my stomach, 6 feet south in the mouth of Satan, where sun be soiled to cinder, an ashtray of him. And sky be a sea of smoke, so I dive in all death. Breath bare bottled in abyss, just to get a glimpse at him again, just to share one last breath. But how can I move past his death when I am a pool of his blood? A ruby-stained horizon holding on to the last sun he ever saw. So that moon he died beneath never rises in me. He is alive in me. I am an unborn cemetery, reverse chronology, time's arrow burrowed in the bodies of corner boys on the crease of every street, strumming my father's bloodstream in a smooth needlecraft of heroin. My pops called it healing. Like I couldn't heal him. Now every man that comes into my life, I feel like I have to heal him. Breaking down the barricade of a cold-blooded beast, even if it beats me to meet, if it means the venom in my father's veins wasn't in vain, I'll take the pain. Breaking my back like it'll bring my father back, but no matter how many lovers I've tried to save, his grave will always be gravid, grounded, gone from me. So to my pops, I hope you know that I really tried my best to save you, but that was never my responsibility. Woo! Thank you, guys.
More volume on that? Yeah, and I'm not a Picasso, but the way I freaking picture you, I think I'm about to be out those 2-1 with a hot flow, 5-6, swift, give me a hot roll, I might need a right note, what they call me the truth, give me like it, I'm a pyro, maniac going viral, so they said they want to smoke, turn it up and give my hands up, that can't for the fight, yo, that can't for a hate if you get out of line, bro, gon' rock with a trap, yo, big plans, homie, they can remember, we just strap low, fuck strap, get psycho, go, lose weight, even if you fight, yo, but I need help, everything, let me see your moves, or where your moves at, let me see your moves. Hold up, so lit right here in this little corner.